I don't finish making something playable in the next 5 hours, I have to delete my entire game and start completely from scratch. Done. Hey, I'm Sam. I've set out to make a world-class typing game in 3 months, and I'm doing it all on camera. But there's a catch. Every time I stream, I have a task that I need to finish before the end of the session. And if I don't get it done, I have to delete my entire Unity project and start completely from the beginning. There are 2 caveats. I get to keep any art assets or data that can be stored outside of Unity. Today, we're kicking off the whole project by making a Z-type clone, with a few modifications. To get there, we need to finish all of these tasks. Once I got the project up and running, I needed to get the most commonly typed words in the English language. So 5 hours. Bam. We're starting with our dictionary first. So what I'm going to do is just grab the most common words in the dictionary. This is where we already hit our first major roadblock. I needed the words to have a very specific format to work with my code. And this, well, was not it. Okay, this is not good. That's potentially 500 enters I have to do, which is a lot of manual labor. I start at the end because I keep on mispressing. I can't get my control enters lined up correctly. No, I can't. Not how I was expecting to start off this stream or this game development. Oh my god, just let me, please. Actually, I wonder if there's like a way to replace spaces. No, I could just create a script to handle this. That'd probably be the best way of doing it. We're at M already. All right. Not in order of alphabetical. Oh, I cannot land the alternation between control and enter doing it one hand. That might be easier. It's high quality content. Okay, this is an awful way of doing it. Awful way. We could just do the top 200 words. I don't know why these are tabbed, not tabbed. So I think if I control K these, it should format it correctly, right? Nope. Wait, so we have 200 words. They're in order as well, which is great. Yeah, we've got difficulty scores, times typed, mistakes, type speed. We've got everything that we might need in the future. To start with, we have a dictionary. Now we just have to work on word spawning. Okay, we've hit the first half an hour, which is okay. We're making decent progress. Half an hour in, we've knocked off our first task and I've recovered from my word formatting fiasco. Everything's going great until random range. Pretty sure that's how I'm supposed to be using it. Okay, I'm actually stumped. Why is that not the right value? Excuse me? What? Sorry? Let's just give that another go. Random dot range. So now, whenever we spawn a word, it should give me a random position along the edges. Good enough. Good enough. We've finished that. 4 hours left to get all of this done. Word movement is up next, I think, and then we'll do player input. So in the first hour, we've already crossed off the dictionary and word spawning, and pretty quickly we had word movement up and running as well. Let's just see if it works. Maybe. A lot of words. It's terrifying. Interesting. So we've got an error, which I just ignored. Wait, that's all we need for word movement right now. Player input. Next up. Player input's probably the biggest task on this list, and the way that Unity handles key inputs is, well, for this context, a little bit annoying. As much as I didn't want to, I had to do another stint of menial typing. Okay. A, B, 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 B. So a little bit more than an hour later, and it was time to do our first playtest. Will it break? It just works? What? What? I was not expecting it to just work. Not even halfway yet, which is terrifying because there's a lot to do here. Word selection and attack as well. Let's just make sure that we get these two settled very nicely before we focus on anything else. Here we hit a teensy little bug. I had a system set up so that the words would spawn on a words per minute basis. And I didn't quite do the maths well on that. That is not 20 words a minute. Clearly more than 20 words. Okay, so that means that that word spawner functionality is not working as intended. A quick fix and a couple balancing decisions led to this. Basic, very basic. Does do pretty well so far. I'm going to also just include in here UI, specifically words per minute, and maybe health. We are over the halfway mark. Heck. Okay, this is good. These things are not that difficult relative to what we've got so far. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll make it. We're just gonna keep on pushing. Things are looking pretty okay at this point. We just need to figure out what's next. Backspace functionality. Most important bit right now. This is great. This is so much, not necessarily fun, but it definitely works. I guess a couple more difficult words would be fun as well. And some capitalizations, but I think I'm going to avoid capitalizations for this session. Okay, I'm just going to let it go because I've just spent 3 minutes just typing needlessly. Okay, cool. So we've done the accuracy modifier. We'll need to make sure it works. We'll start creating some UI elements. With an hour and a half left, we finished 6 out of our 14 tasks. Things were starting to get tight, so I needed to add some mini deadlines. Okay, let's see if we can get the UI done in 7 minutes. 56 seconds. Is this done? Is this done? That's all of the values, right? Score, multiplier, hearts. Done. 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 This doesn't have a reference to UI manager. Okay, that's fine. Damn it. Let's see where we're up to. True. I have not assigned the prefab reference to the UI manager. So that was 5 minutes late with getting that done. And it's all uphill from here, right? Hour and 25 minutes. We can validate poor decisions. Now that we had a visual representation for my accuracy multiplier, we stumbled onto a bug. Okay, I mean, at least it's resetting correctly. I don't know why it's going up so quickly to 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now let's check this out. So static void correct character, frequently called from one usage here. Check current words. Thing, we're not changing the old word to the new word. That would have been like a huge data leak as well. Jeez. Okay, cool. Our accuracy modifier works exactly as intended. The only thing I want to add is just a little sliding bar, which I'm just going to do super jank. This is also just like totally not necessary. And you know, I've got way too much to do at this point. I don't know what I was thinking. Perfect. Nice. Okay, the only thing that we're missing now is adding score when we send a word off. So once we actually had the score set up, it didn't seem like there was much left to do. However, a lot of what we just made was an absolute mess. It's spooky. We've only got an hour, 10 minutes, about a little less. How do we make this look better in an hour? And have we even finished everything that we want to finish? Maybe we will leave the aesthetics out for today. Because of that, I got to play around with the score design a little bit. Initially, I was just multiplying all the values by 100 to give some nice, big, juicy scores. But in the moment, the score's way too big. Way too big. Cool. Really jank. Doesn't save score or anything. Doesn't need to. Don't need the 100 multiplier. Word difficulty scores. No. I mean, we've already implemented that, except for capitals. But I'm not dealing with capitals. I had a whole system for capitals. Ooh, current words per minute. Maybe we can spend the last hour just refactoring. Because we're there, we have basically done it. Need to do maybe like a mistake management we've done. Maybe a game over screen. UI we're done. I mean, difficulty modifier we're doing now. I reckon we're going to spend the last hour, half an hour refactoring, and then just making sure that everything still works. So basically, refactoring just means rewriting some of the code to make it easier to read or more performant or whatever your objective is. It's usually a fairly simple process, but it's very easy to get distracted with writing really clean, sleek, elegant, beautiful code. Before we dove into that though, I had to just make sure that everything was working. And it's a good thing I did. Okay, let's give this a solid playtest because I think we're pretty much there. Okay. All right, of course. It's good to know that it can handle this many numbers so comfortably. So many words. Okay, so we need to make sure our words per minute on the... Oh my gosh, my brain is just so fried. This is just such a mess as well. It's ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Where were we... this is the problem as well. Where were we... Word spawn manager is our difficulty. Ridiculous. Feed increase time. No. Feed time minus equals feed increase time. Done. Okay. Oh my gosh. Kept on getting distracted playtesting the game. It was just like completely inefficient. Annoying because I do really want to keep the accuracy modifier going, which is the intention, right? So maybe we do want to just add a backdrop to these. But I guess that could be part of the... Oh my gosh, it can be part of the aesthetics. I think the other thing that we have to make sure is that we're always targeting those duplicate words, the ones that are closest to us, because I thought that that was just working, but I think it sometimes isn't. There's no opportunity to like save yourself. This is it. So we need an end screen, which I guess we can do. We've still got 48. 48. We've still got time. Let's just check. So game over screen and reset. We have done the reset. The difficulty modifier is done. Word difficulty score is done. I don't really feel like it's done, but not necessary. It's just the game over and the reset that needs to happen. And I think I'd like to fix this up a little bit. There's just so much to fix in this. So much to fix in all of this. It's just all a mess. All such a mess. So I spent 15 minutes playtesting, just making sure everything's working. We have one task left to do. Everything's good. Everything's great. I don't understand why I didn't just do that task. Instead, I just decided to rewrite a bunch of stuff and inevitably break things. 13 minutes. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What does that put us down? I mean, theoretically, everything should just work perfectly, except for game over, I think. Everything did not work perfectly. Ooh, interesting. So if we hit space, underscore value is equal to 0, return. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes to make sure everything's working. And ooh, do I still want to add a game over screen? I reckon we can do that in 10 minutes. So I kept on forgetting about this task, and I still hadn't fixed everything that I broke from refactoring. Update health. Need to add a listener to that. So we should really break it out even more. But for the time being, I'm just going to go listener. Int. Why is there no int event listener? Definitely is. Events. Int event listener. No. How did that not bring up an error? Quickly. Why did I break things? Quickly. Here. Int event listener. Current health change. UI manager. Int UI manager. Update health. No, update health. There we go. Okay, I think that's that. Let's quickly just create a game over canvas. Finally, with 7.5 minutes, I decided to do this. I finished the aesthetics for it within 5 minutes, but I still had a bunch of stuff that I had to hook up to make it work. So this is what my last 3 minutes look like. UI manager, global variables, dot word movement speed equals 0. It's not read only. It is read only. We don't want it to be read only. Perfect. UI manager. Public void game over. Game over canvas dot set active true. We need the text for both. GM score, GO score, O score, go whip permit, go score dot set text score dot text. No, is that not a thing? We're still saving score. Perfect. Do string and go score. Go words per minute. Are we saving that at all? No. Value words per minute equals value. 48 seconds, there's no way. I mean, I feel like I did it all anyway. I don't know if it's game over. No, we can do this. So we just need to quickly let it reload. Come on. And then void event listener, void event channel, game over, UI manager, void event, UI manager, void event, game over, and quickly, done. I don't know if that was on time or not, but I mean, it counts. Come on, that counts. Okay, so technically I was 2 seconds over, but the title for the stream was making something playable in 5 hours. And I had that in an hour and a half. Plus, as extra cope, my timer did start 5 seconds later than 5 hours. It's just, if I keep this work now, it makes for higher stakes content in the future. Anyway, the resulting reflection was mostly just cope. I mean, we were done. Like an hour ago. Like, this is just extra work. I don't want to test it. Okay, let's actually find out if it works or not. We took damage. Yeah, it works. Heck yeah. Still getting word spawns. It's so janky. So the UI doesn't update in the corner. But other than that, everything else is like fine. And I would have been like 2 seconds from finishing. I really want to see like the replay on that time. It felt like I was like right on the second. I actually don't know if I was over or not at all. All right, I'm like actually panicking that I didn't finish on time. No, but like this works. It worked. The only thing that was not going to work was the game over screen. You get such a better score if I was actually being accurate. It's great. That's the whole point, right? So we made a Z-type clone with a couple modifications. It's not visually as appealing as the real deal, but that stuff takes time. I mean, it definitely wasn't perfect. There were still a couple bugs here and there, but nothing that really broke the core experience of playing the game. Oh, classic. Oh, actually, that makes sense. Also, weird that the ball is rendering over the top of the camera, even though the camera is in world space. Like, weird. but I should still be able to, yeah. Oh, which means also that the space to continue didn't work. But that's like, oh, because I never updated the game over. I have no idea why the health isn't updating at all. I don't know. I think it was totally functional. I'm counting it. Like, I finished an hour before. If I had to reset this, wouldn't be the worst thing, knowing that this sort of setup that I had. It'd still be at least 3 hours of work though, which is terrifying. I mean, if I did reset this, at least I know what I'd be doing and I would know how to make it a lot cleaner. It's pretty common in game development that you think you could make the game that you just made in half the time with the benefit of hindsight. Still doesn't mean that I want to delete it all. I'm going to check out the replay for that because it's really bugging me. Oh, that is on it. That is on the money. You are like... That is way too close. I was like definitely a second too late, but that's way too close. In the grand scale of like 5 hours when I went on 4 bathroom breaks and just faffed about, it's way too close. That's way too close. And it was like, I finished everything that I was supposed to have finished an hour ago. An hour before the deadline. Okay, that's enough cope. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm still figuring all the processes out for getting content out there. I'm aiming to be streaming at least twice a week, ramping up to 5 times a week with increments of 1 per week, if that makes sense. So this week, 2 streams, next week, 3 streams, 4 streams, up until 5. And then I'm going to reevaluate from there if I even get to that point. I live stream this whole process here on YouTube. Subscribe if you want to be notified about future videos or whenever I go live. Let me know what you liked or disliked about this video. I really appreciate any sort of feedback. I want to make the best content that I can for you.